Let's make shadow puppet today. Here are the supplies. Scissors, pencil, 2 plastic straws, brads. Here's a big one. Well, today what we need is a small version of that. Piece of strings, dried sponge with a safety pin. And perhaps we might need the Scotch tape, dental floss, and a needle. We'll come to that later. Here is the template for the camel. You want to print that on heavy cardstock. And we're going to cut this along the dotted lines. But it might be easier if we cut off a section to work with. It's much easier. Cut along the dotted line. Each piece here is labeled with numbers or name of the parts. That will help us assemble it much better later, easier. Here I have a set already being cut out. And let's see how we can assemble this. Let's try the body first. Here's the head. What we want to do is to place this on the sponge using the safety pin and give it a good hole here using the safety pin to poke that. Watch your fingers. We want to do the same thing with the head, and where you will make the hole is indicated on the template already. And when you are done, you overlap them. You can see through there's the hole. Then put the brad through both sheets, turn it over, and we can see. We'll open up the 2 pieces of the bread in the back. Here, we're done with the head of the camel. The legs, each of them are 2 parts to it, and you want to repeat the same process. Place on the sponge. Watch your fingers, don't prick yourself. Poke through that. Poke through this. Overlap. Then take the brads and go through. You don't want to make it too tight because you want it to be flexible, movable. All right. Now to fix this leg, see number 1. Here's the number 1 spot. And you repeat the same thing. You put the hole in there, put the hole in here, and overlap and put the brads on it. Here I have one that's already been connected. Here is for camel with the rider on top. And the head can move. The legs can move. And the rider can move as well. Now we just need the piece of string and tape it to the rider's hand and tape it to the neck of the camel. And here you got a camel rider, shadow puppet. Now you say, well, how do I use it? We're missing another very important part, which is the plastic straw. On the end of the plastic straw, we want to cut an inch or so openings. Then we will place it on the head with it all parts opened up. Then we use a tape it down. We'll do the same thing with the head of the camel rider. So I just put the scissors in the opening and give it a few cuts. Don't have to be very precise. Open that up and place on the head of the camel rider. Now, if it's too long, you see the plastic is sticking out, we can always trim that later. Tape it on our side and can trim the excess off. Now you see we can move the head of the rider and move the camel as well. Let's go ahead and tape the string on here. Here we can have the camel galloping. And next, we're going to show you how to make this shadow puppet work with the shadow puppet stage and how to build one with what you got at home. If you don't have miniature metal bread like this, you can always use a needle. Thread it with dental floss. You want to tie a knot on the very end. And this is how you would tie the knot. Wrap around your finger once. Now you want to roll your thumb with the index finger, then pull this nice and close. And now you see a nice knot. And if it's not big enough, we need the knot to be quite large. Then you will use the needle and poke it through the middle of the knot if possible, and a few times, and that will create a slightly bigger knot. Now, when you're done with that, you want to poke hole where it's indicated, line them up, and sew those two pieces together. You can flip it over and tie your knot on this side. And this is how you do it. Okay, with the thumb secure the needle right by the hole. You wrap around 4 times. Keep your thumb right on there, nice and tight, while you pull the needle through. Now you have a nice knot. If it's not big enough, you want to do the same. Get your needles through the middle of the knot. Be careful, don't poke yourself. And pull through a few times, and you get your nice knot there. The key is so the thread will hold the two pieces together. It's nice and loose. It's movable, but you don't want the knot to be too small to slip through the hole. And if you only have the bigger breads, If you need bigger holes, then you will want to use a pencil to enlarge the hole before you use the bigger brads. And it is a little tougher to use the bigger brads to join the small joint together. Here is a shadow puppet stage you can make at home with 2 chairs turned on its back and a white sheet and plugging a lamp. Then you're ready to go. Now you can put your camel right against the sheet and wiggle it around. Let's see how it looks on the other side. Ooh, look pretty nice.